Welcome back everyone to the next chapter in the pallet fork build. In the first part we built the frame. The next part I'm building the bar and the mounting for that bar, and that bar, as you can see there, is going to be used to mount the forks to, so I can slide them back and forth. I didn't do a lot of videotaping, as you can see, and the reason for that is the cold, and I got a little busy and had to get it done. So I'll just give you a little update on how I did it so that it can help you on your own build. And the way that I've done that is I found this bar. This is, I think it's about an inch and maybe inch and a half. I don't know what size exactly that bar is. All I did was I cut it off to length, 36 inches. And on the other end, same thing. I got a hole. I took a hole saw, measured where I wanted it, drilled a hole on this side. I drilled a hole on that side. And then this piece of steel here I had left over. What I'm going to do is I've got this piece of steel sitting here, and I got the bars sitting flush with that steel, and I'm going to weld it solid on this side. And the reason for that is to keep that bar from wanting to slide in or out so it doesn't fall out. And then what I'm going to do is on this side where it sticks out, I'm going to drill a hole. I haven't decided what size yet, maybe 1/4 inch, I don't know. It doesn't have to be super big. I'm going to put a bolt through there, and that will keep the bar from sliding this way, and that plate will keep it from sliding the other way. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow me to take this bolt out and take that bar out should I ever need to. In addition, I built this little piece of square piece here, this little 1/4 inch plate, just some scrap I had laying about. All that is just put a hole in it, and I'm going to weld it on the top, and I'm going to weld it on the bottom there. That's just an extra support in the center of the forks. As you can see my white chalk line there, that's the center. When I weld it in, I'll have to put it there, but that'll keep it a little bit more support for the bar so it don't bend if I have to. What I'm going to do is I got some pieces of pipe that'll fit over that. They're actually a little on the big side, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here's my pipe. It's plenty big, as you can see here. And I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do yet, if I'm going to try and cut a slot in that and try and collapse that pipe to make it a little smaller and then re-weld it and then set it on there, or if I'm going to try and use it like this. And I'm leaning on cutting a slot into it and making it a little bit smaller so that it's not quite so big. When I get this done, I'm going to weld it to the top of my square tube on both sides. And here's my mark here that I've cut. And the way that works is it's going to be sitting up here riding on that bar, and that square tube will hang down here. And what I'm going to do, I'll show you here. I've got more square tubing. I'm going to cut to length. I think these are 3-footers. They're going to butt up against the other tube that comes down, and they're going to come out. And what I'm going to do is take these 2 pieces or 4 pieces rather, sorry, of you're going to have the other piece coming in like so, and I'll weld these on as a gusset, one on each side, to strengthen that fork, because this is tubing, they're not solid fork. I think that's, I don't know, maybe 1/4 inch thick sidewall on these pipe, or this tubing. So let's get to work on the top part on that little piece of pipe. I'll bring you along. Here we go. So here's a little bit better idea now that I've all got it set the way I want it. My mock-up here. As you can see, my two pieces of pipe there and there. And then here's my square tubing. I'm going to cut, I measured on mine, it's going to be about 9 inches here and another one there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld that piece of 1/4 inch plate to the top of the tube and then weld that tubing to the bottom of this here. It's going to sit down about an inch, 2 inches, I think it was 2 inches off the bottom of the frame here on both these square tubings. And then I'm going to cut another piece, the longer one, which will sit like so, and we'll put those 1/4 inch plates on each side as a gusset, and then that'll be the forks coming out. So that'll be it for this part. On the next part, we're going to be welding everything together and getting the forks built. So if you're enjoying the build, stay tuned. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. everybody, this is the final portion of this episode where we're going to be finishing up the pallet fork build for the Mustang Owatonna. And if you've been around this long, sticking through the video, you have seen me do the majority of the welding. I didn't show all of it because I didn't want to make the video too long. It's long enough already. But right now I'm going to give you the overview of the details of how it looks and how I did it. So hopefully it will help you on your own pallet fork build. We're going to start here at the frame. As you can see in earlier videos where I did the quick attach, my vertical pieces. This is one thing I have left to do yet. I have to drill a hole in this and weld it on solid. I'm going to do that after I get done moving some more snow. We got more snow again today, so got my piece here welded on tight. She's not going anywhere. Got the bolt on the other end. My forks turned out pretty good, I think. I got to cut these shorter. I don't know why I didn't do it before, but I didn't notice it. But they're too wide for that frame, so I'm going to cut them right there so they're flush, you know. But I did like the idea. It worked pretty slick. I welded that to that 1/4 inch plate, and then welded that solid to the tubing, and then I welded it solid all the way around here. And then these, I decided to change my gussets here to these triangle pieces I found. I think the triangle ones are stronger myself. I did two of them per fork tine. Turned out really nice. They're actually very heavy, these forks. I did the same thing on the other one. And the only difference on this fork versus that fork is this one has a 1/4 inch plate for an extension to make it shimmed up, but I also put 1/8 inch plate on the end of this tubing here and welded it solid all the way around. And the reason for that is so that I don't get, reduce the amount of moisture and whatnot inside the tubes. I also did it at the bottom of this one on both fork tines. This here didn't turn out too bad. I have it flat on the bottom with the tubing, and then this one on top is sloped up. So when you come into a pallet or something, it'll hopefully push it up over on top of the forks. This one over here is a little different. I cut it shorter and I drilled a hole in it so that if I ever decide to put like a 2-inch ball receiver or a pin or something like that to move a trailer or a wagon around, I can do that. And I actually I had this piece here which has just a little bit of a nub left of the 90-degree angle because it used to be a piece of angle iron, so hopefully that'll add a little bit of strength. Probably not much, but every little bit counts. They slide pretty nice on that shaft up there. The last thing that I did, if you can see it here, I took this piece of I don't know, probably 1/4 inch flat stock, maybe 1.5 inches tall or whatever it is. I welded it on both sides, the whole length of the forks. I don't know if you can see it in there. I put a little ear on the back of the forks. And what that's going to do is that's going to allow for the forks to be in a more or less fixed position. Same on this one over here. And that's going to allow me to slide my forks back and forth along that rail. And if I ever have a need for it, this is my preference to have fixed forks versus ones that will float. If I ever pick it up and tilt the forks down, these forks will stay on that rail. Obviously it's not super strong. I wouldn't try to dig with it or whatever, back drag, dig with it or something, but it's not made for that anyway. It makes it a lot easier if you're trying to push something that's, out of the way or just out of reach or something. But stick around for the more videos on this. We're going to be doing some test runs once the weather clears up. We got some things to move and try it out, but all in all, I'm very satisfied with it. I got to do a couple touch-up things. In the spring, hopefully when the weather turns and she gets warm, I'll take a grinder and grind down some of the welds, clean them up, wire wheel it, make it real nice, and I'll wash it with some, you know, acetone or mineral spirits or something, and we'll give her a nice coat of paint. Right now she's too cold and my paint's cold, and I'm not gonna try and fight it right now. It will never stick anyway. You're just wasting paint. So well, there you have it, guys. It's not the prettiest, it's probably not the best pair out there, but for my machine it'll work pretty dang slick. Thanks for joining me. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. If you want some more details on how I built it, leave a comment below, and if I see it, I will attempt to write an answer and give you a little more details on how I did it. Thanks for watching.